Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. Since the last episode, I spent some time doing a few optimizations with the science build. I've put in productivity modules in some of the components of the science flasks or the science packs. I got some speed beacons set up. So everything is on one speed beacon. I still have more that I can do in terms of productivity, like these electric furnaces, for example. But for the most part, I've got a lot of the expensive components with productivity modules. I also discovered that a lot of my assembly machines making blue circuits were still level 2 with only 1 or 2 modules. So I went ahead and upgraded all of those. I added some additional beacons for speed. And when I did that, I very quickly drained all of the sulfuric acid that I had available. So I went and checked that and loaded up the refineries with beacons and modules. I also put modules on sulfuric acid, lubricant. I wouldn't mind adding it to cracking, but I think that's a lower priority. Yeah, so I think we're doing pretty good there. Oil is now, well, we're doing fine on our oil supply. It was starting to drain pretty quickly when I upgraded these, as you might imagine, but we have almost a full tank of acid now. So what I'd like to do next is, if we take a look at our power, you can see that we're starting to consume close to our limit. I think our current limit is, you know what, I don't remember. Let's take a look. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 14. 14 times 400 is, what, 560 megawatts, I think? If we get 40 megawatts from each, times 14, that's 400 plus 160, yeah. So I want to add another pair of reactors to upgrade that. So I started making some reactors automatically. Looks like we've got one already, and waiting for copper plate, which makes me realize I don't think I'm putting copper plate onto the bus anywhere, or onto the logistics network, so let's do that. And we'll set these to put in, let's say 500. There we go. So that'll provide the copper plate that we need. I also got myself a combat shotgun. I'm making combat ammo. And I set up automatic production of refineries and chemical processing plants. So I was pretty busy. Nothing too exciting, but yeah, spent some time doing that. So what concerns me now is the fact that we've got 1,400 uranium 235s and only 11,000 238s. And like we discussed before, we need a 13-to-1 ratio. So the way we're going now will eventually run out of the uranium 238. So what I'd like to do today is start mining more uranium so we can bring that back to our base. And what I'm thinking is that we could do it down here. And the reason I like this spot is because it's close to oil and coal. And we need sulfuric acid for the mining. So what I'm thinking is maybe we could set up some coal liquefaction over here, which is something I have not played with yet. And we can use that to make the sulfuric acid and do our mining there, and then we can set up a train station up here somewhere to load up the uranium and take it back to the base. All right. Yeah, so I'm not even going to need a fluid wagon if I do that locally. I also started making more logistics robots. I'm going up to 1,500 now because I am starting to use those more and more. You know, as you can see here, this is all logistics. You know, from this point out, whenever I set up these supplies, I'm probably just going to use requester chests, just because it's so much easier than having to run belts and do all this kind of stuff. All right, so let's hop in our construction train. And let's see, the closest station would be oil load 1. So I'm gonna start heading towards oil load 1. And as always, I'll shift it into manual once we start getting close so that I don't collide with anything. And I did grab some refineries and chemical plants before we left, and now I'm just kind of banging out some of this lower level research. I'm doing the shotgun damage and speed because I want to be able to use my shotgun to take out biter bases. It's a pretty good weapon for that. And my goal is just to get all the research up until where the infinite researches start. And then the infinite research we'll do after we start getting rockets, and we'll set up a huge science base. Okay, so I'm going to leave the train right there so I don't interfere with this guy. Okay, so let's take a look at coal liquefaction and see how this works. So we need coal, heavy oil, and steam. And that turns it into more heavy oil. Light oil, and petroleum. Okay, so one thing I am not prepared for is making steam. But it's good that we're close to water. Alright, so let me come down here. I have a chest that I left down there. Okay. Alright, so let's make a pump for water. And I suppose well, let's decide where we're going to make the liquefaction plant. I think it would be good to make it close to the coal so that we don't have to move the coal too far. Yeah. So let's clear out this area here. Because Lord knows we could always use more wood. Alright, and I think I'll put down a roboport and a storage chest. And I'll put some more robots in there so that they can help out. I've got some logistics bots, so I'll just use them to get this wood out of my inventory. Okay, very good. Alright, I think I have some miners. Yep. Alright, so let's... Well, first let's figure out where we want to lay out the refinery. And I think I'll just start with 3. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to need, but we'll start with 3. Can I make any barrels? Where are empty barrels? Yeah, I can. Alright, I'm going to make a few empty barrels. I'm going to barrel up a little bit of this oil. Whoops. There we go. And I'm doing that because we're going to need some heavy oil to get that process started. Okay, and I'm also going to need a boiler. Okay, and for the boiler, I need to find some stone. So I think if I look around, I should be able to find some. What's that? That's a steel chest with more wood in it. I guess I'll take it. Alright, there's some stone. I think 1 boiler ought to be enough. Alright, I'll make 4 just in case. Okay, so we need to put steam in one side and the heavy oil in the other. And this is my first time doing this, so bear with me if I screw up or go too slow. Let's get some power. There. And a few lights. Okay, and so I want to put, you know what, I'm not going to use my modules on this yet. Let's get this running first. Okay, so how much does this need? Every 5 seconds, we need 50 steam. The boilers, I don't know if I can see how much steam they make. No, I don't know. So I'm gonna start with 1 boiler and see if that will be sufficient to generate the steam that we need. Like I said, I haven't run this process before, so I have no clue what the proper ratios are. But I think it's kind of fun to try to figure it out on your own first. If I get lost and frustrated, then I'm sure there's a Reddit post that'll tell me exactly what the right ratios are. Okay, we'll come down 1 more. Let's make it 2 more. There we go. Okay. Put the pump there. Okay. So now we've got water. we're actually making steam already. Okay, now we need to bring coal. So I'm not sure how fast it's going to eat it up, so I'll bring in a red belt. And yeah, I think we're gonna have to run like the oil line out here to give room for the coal belt to come in. Alright, so we're almost maxed out on shotgun. Yeah. So we'll come in like this. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, we'll put the inserters there. How much does this need? This needs 10 coal every 5 seconds. Yeah, so a yellow inserter will be a little bit too slow. Alright. And I'm not sure how much coal this is going to take or how fast it eats it up, so I'll just start with that many miners. That's 24. So that's almost enough to fully saturate the belt. We'll light it up well, because everyone likes a well-lit working area. There. And let's add some laser turrets to at least prevent, you know, any casual attacks. This isn't going to stop anything serious, obviously, but it'll slow the biters down. Okay, and then we can actually make a burner inserter to feed our boiler. So far, so good. Okay, and then heavy oil. I'll just run it out to the maximum distance, because despite always saying how I want to give myself a lot of room, I always seem to run out of room. Okay. And then we also want the heavy oil to recirculate, right? A portion of it has to go back into the process. So let's put a tank. Actually, I could put a tank right there, couldn't I? Yeah, let's put a tank there. And have that go back. And I have 3 of these that are going to want 25 each, 75. So the output of this, that's going to go to cracking, because I want to convert this all to petroleum to use in the for the sulfuric acid. So the output that goes to cracking, I'm going to set to work when heavy oil is greater than 75. So that way I'll always have enough. And I'll put another pump here just for good measure. That way I'll always have enough to run the process. Okay. So I think all I need to do now is to put some heavy oil inside here. Oh, let's Let's try connecting these pipes up first. Otherwise it won't work. There we go. Alright, so let's go get the regular oil. I should hopefully have, yep, so I got 5 barrels of that. I hope that will give me enough heavy oil. And then I'll just set up this is just to get things rolling, you understand? Okay, so this one I want to unbarrel crude. Put that in. And then here I want to barrel heavy. And it looks like it's not gonna do it until I give those other fluids a place to go. Okay. Come on, guy. Hook me up. It's 180. Slowly but surely. I hope I get enough to fill up the barrel. Yeah, it looks like I will barely. Okay. Well, that gives me 250, and I think that's enough to get this process jump started. Alright, so this is unbarrel heavy. Let's put in the barrel. Okay. And we're good. Why is it not working? It needs coal. Oh. All right. We got it running. And so this should slowly start to fill up if we've done things properly. Very good. Okay, and we don't need any of this anymore. So we'll pick that up. Okay, so we've got enough to keep this running. And now we just hook up our outputs like we normally do. Okay, I've already got a tank for heavy oil, so I just need... I'll have one buffer tank for... What's that doing there? One buffer tank for light oil. And one buffer tank for petroleum. Okay. And with that, we should be running pretty much nonstop. Let's just make sure we're getting enough oil and steam. Yeah. Looks like, I mean, one boiler seems to be enough. Let's check the FARL machine. That'll be the worst case, I suppose. Alright. Looks fine. I don't know that the heavy oil is necessarily accumulating very fast, but then again, we're not getting huge volumes of output, but that's fine. Okay, so with these three guys, let me get my calculator. We're making, every 5 seconds, I'm making 15 light oil each one. So that's 45. Yeah, and this is crafting speed of 1. Okay, so that's 45 light oil divided by 5 is 9 per second. Right, so I'm going to write this down. 9 per second light oil. And then the heavy oil, I get 35 times 3 divided by 5. That's 21 per second. But then I'm using 15 per second. Right, 5 per second times 3. So I'm netting 6 per second heavy oil. So that's what we have to be cracking. 9 and 6. Okay. So let's set up our light oil cracking. And I'll set that up right here. Let's see. Yeah, I think it would be... Yeah, I'll set it up right here. Okay, so light oil to petroleum is going to use 10 per second. I'm making 9 per second, so I need only 1. And then the heavy oil, yeah, we'll do that this way. I might need to move this. Heavy to light. That uses 40, like 13 per second. Yeah, so one of each of these cracking setups will be fine. This one, okay, well, let's think about this. If I'm feeding this 6 heavy oil per second, okay, 40 divided by 6, that means I'm going to need 6.7 seconds to kick it off. And then 9 seconds later, well, let's just say 6.7 seconds, because that'll be continuous. I don't have to consider the 3 seconds it takes to make it, because it'll be taking in oil during that 3 seconds. So every 6.67 seconds, I'm going to get 30 light oil, which is another 4.5 per second. All right, and I have 9 per second plus the 4.5. So I'm actually going to be getting 13.5 per second, which is a little bit more than one can handle. So I actually need 2 of these to keep the light oil from building up. Okay. So let's go ahead and run the plumbing here. Okay, I think that will be good. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this just to keep it tight. Yeah. Okay. And then this is the heavy oil that we're using for cracking. That needs to go up there. Okay. Yeah, so this will empty once it goes over 75. It'll send oil over here. And the rest will keep this going. I'm going to give myself a safety factor here, though. Let's just say 150. Because if I run out of heavy oil here, then I'm going to have to come back with barrels to jumpstart it again. Okay, so now we just need our water. For the cracking. Okay, and I'll run a pipe from here. Oh, no. No, I won't run a pipe from there. All right, let's try that again. Run a pipe from here. That is a much better place for pipes to go. Okay. Okay. And we are up and running. We should see this light oil eventually get empty. And petroleum fill up even faster than it is already. And if this is working right, then this will never get above 150. At least not for more than just a moment. Alright, that's 4.2. It's going to be hard to see it decreasing. But petroleum is picking up. Okay, so now we can start making sulfuric acid. So for that we need sulfur, which is yet more water, and petroleum. So I think we'll do 2. Actually, we can do that right here. And the sulfur feeds into sulfuric acid process, which needs iron plate. I did not think about iron plate. We're going to need a train to bring iron plate, unless we have some iron close by. We do have iron ore up there. Yeah, why don't we just we'll bring in some ore. Alright, cool. Let's do shotgun damage. I know what we'll do. Okay, so the acid goes down there. Let's set up the acid production over here. So what we'll do is I'll just have a train bring ore, and we'll smelt it right here on site. Okay, so every second I need 1 plate. 1 plate a second means like 4 electric furnaces. I don't have any on me, but we can go get some. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so first let me set up 2 chemical plants. Making sulfur, and then one in the middle will make the acid. That way we can just pass the sulfur in between. Okay, so we need to bring our water line over there. Okay, and then the petroleum comes in from here. And I am going to use modules on this stuff because it's a valuable resource. And I don't think speed is going to be a big concern. And for now, I'm just going to have that go into a single output tank. Okay, so now we just need the iron. I'm not going to bother with speed modules just yet, because I don't think we're going to need the speed just for this mining operation. Okay, so this piece of rail is designed to go this way, which is a little bit unfortunate. There we go. So let's set up our signals. Okay, and we'll put a small ore unloading station here. And we'll call this acid iron ore unload. Okay, and fortunately I happen to have a train. Alright, and this is going to go to iron ore load 1. Alright. No, I didn't want to do that. I want you to get out of here. Okay, so you go to iron ore load 1 until full. And then you come back here until empty. Get out of here. All right, so we're not going to need a whole lot of throughput here, I don't think. So I'll just set this up with 4 inserters. And those can go I wish this pipe wasn't so close. There we go. No, it's not. You know what? I don't even need that. Yep. That should balance. Okay. Now I just need to get some furnaces. Let's see if our train made it there. It did not. You get out of here. Actually, I see a bit of a problem. These guys are not going to want to. They're not going to want to unload. Oh, no, they will. That's fine. Yeah, it'll keep... These are going to stop, but it'll keep trying to fill this up. Okay. So while that's working, we have some time to go and get some furnaces. So let's go back to our construction station. I'll put in a request for... what did we say we need? For 4 furnaces. Actually, I'm over time, so I'm going to end the episode here, and we'll finish this up in the next one. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.